8:30 on your Wednesday, and we're here with Charlie O'Hara. He is in studio to answer your legal questions. And it sounds like we do have a couple calls on the line, but if you have one, call us now, 316-436-1212. We would love to hear from you, and I know, Charlie, you would be happy to answer some other questions.
Sure.
And it unfortunately sounds like we did lose our caller, so hopefully some other people call in. But something we were chatting about before, we came on air here, a man was arrested yesterday for raping a woman in a park here in Wichita, East Side Park. And I guess I'm curious, from your perspective, kind of what is the range of charges that a person can be charged with in a rape case, and how do lawyers sort of go about that charging process?
Well, I mean, the DA gets to decide. What the DA actually does in every charge is the police or the sheriff or whoever it is that will investigate the case, and then they will write some reports and bring a detective will usually bring those reports with an affidavit swearing as to what the reports say to the district attorney, and then the district attorney will have a charging person there, and that person will decide what charges are filed. Because sometimes what we think might be a rape may not be a rape, or what we may think isn't a rape is a rape. So an attorney really should go through that and look at that. So if it's a rape charge, it's a very serious charge. I think you're usually looking, if you've never been in trouble before, somewhere around 12 years in prison for that charge. And obviously it's a huge emotional thing.
Absolutely.
Now there's lesser types of sexual assaults that come under the law, which aren't quite as extreme as a rape. That would be a very violent crime. There's some others that are age-related, some of them that people kind of get out of control for one reason or the other, and it really isn't a rape, it's some other kind of sexual contact. Those things come all the way down to certain misdemeanors. Usually a sexual offense like that's going to require someone to register, which is a huge penalty in addition to going to prison, which means you every 3 months or so you have to go down and register with the authorities, and then your name's on the internet so anybody can look you up, and it usually prevents you from having very good employment.
And so law enforcement officers and lawyers really do, I don't want to say put a lot of thought into it, but really making sure that they are progressing with the correct charge or going for that specific thing depending on what's really happened.
That's a lot of what being an attorney is as to whether the person actually violated the law. I mean, when we think somebody's violated the law, that doesn't mean they really did. We have to read the law, apply the facts of that case and what happened there to the words of the law. And sometimes we also have cases that control what those statutes mean, because sometimes people will think, well, it says this, but everybody says it means something else, and it actually does mean something else. Because the way the law interprets it is differently. So we have to look at the cases too. Well,
thank you so much for kind of extrapolating on that. It does sound like we do have a caller. So caller, go ahead. You're on the line with Charlie. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Go ahead. You're on the line.
Okay. Thank you so much. I am calling in regards to if an individual goes to buy a car and it seems like all the paperwork is done correctly. They leave with the car, and then later on they receive a phone call from a dealer saying your loan didn't go through and you either need to bring back the vehicle or get a loan somewhere else. At that point, the individual's car has already been sold or sent to an auction, so the individual, really is just stuck in this situation. So what can they do to prevent this from happening? Would you think that some policy needs to be made to whereas the...
Well,
so Charlie, what would you
I guess the answer to that question is that's a contract, and nothing's done till the contract is final. So if you make a contract to buy a car, and one of the things that you have to have is a loan approved, like buying a house or anything else, and that loan doesn't get approved, you have to bring the car back. So you should, I guess the only way to prevent that is don't take the car till all the paperwork's done.
We talk about that so often. So many of our questions really do revolve around contracts. So really make sure if you're signing anything, really read the fine print. Make sure you understand everything in those papers.
Well, and most of what happens is controlled by the contract, and you need to read that. But that circumstance means it was a contingency, and it was contingent on the fact that the loan was approved.
Okay. Well, Charlie, thank you so much again for coming in. We're out of time today, but of course you can always ask your questions next week too. We're going to take a break now. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.